football, or soccer, depending on what country you're currently living in. I am American, so I will be calling it soccer, which is actually a word that comes from England, but they have decided not to call it that. Anyways, professional football or soccer, the most popular sport in the world. It started in 1885, became professional in 1885. So we're going on 150 odd years of soccer, all right? Rich history. Thousands, if not millions of players currently played in 211 different countries. And those countries, 210 of them have professional leagues. So the question is, of all of these players, who is the best? All right. In this video, you're going to see probably the best 5 players to ever play the game. But your number one is probably not my number one, and probably not be the next guy's number one. This list is going to make some people mad, but let's do it. I will not on this list include Kylian Mbappe, as he is still in his 20s. Yes, he is on the trajectory of having an amazing career, but he is not there yet. And then we will have guys not on this list like Gerd Müller, who is an all-time great. All right, nobody is disputing that, but he's not quite to the level of my top 5. Number 5, probably the person that made more people fall in love with the sport of football by just watching him play. Just look at him. Look at him. This is Diego Maradona. Watch him dribble past people. He lived to make people look stupid. All right. That's what he lived for. The reason he is number 5, however, is unfortunately the off the field problems that he showcased throughout his career. And I'm not blaming him in this. Like, this is not his fault. Right? Some people it just happens, you know. But I think without the off the field problems, for me, he might be higher. But definitely one of the silkiest, one of the most beautiful football players, soccer players to ever do it. And you could just sit here and watch him do his thing for hours. Just marvel at it. Definitely a very beautiful football player. All right, this is where I will start getting people to be mad at me. All right, so number 4, I have Cristiano Ronaldo. There for a time, he was one of, if not the most dominant player in the world. In the world, okay? Unfortunately, he played in multiple World Cups and was unable to bring home the World Cup trophy. He did get the Euros. All right, I'll give him that. He did get the Euros. He was also incredibly dominant in the air, right? There's probably not been a single player that in the box, cross coming in, that you watch that cross fly into the box and you think every single time 50, 60% chance this is going to be a goal. All right, you see that ball coming in, you see him rising up, feet over the defense, and you're like, this is ridiculous. Like somebody should not be able to run that fast and jump that high. All right. If there was anybody on the face of the planet who knew where the goal was, it was Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay. But the attitude, that's what is keeping me from getting him higher than the others. Number 3, I have Johan Cruyff. I'm putting him at number 3 because first off, he's silky. All right. He don't look like it. He don't look silky. He don't look like he would be one of those like flowy, silky players. But man, lived and breathed football. He is almost single-handedly responsible for the way that teams play now. Like that's you can't discount that. Teams play the way they do because of him, because of teams that he played on and teams that he coached. All right, that you gotta count that as something. But then on top of that, he was just already a great football player, man. Like he could do whatever he wanted every time he stepped out there. And you know what? His effort on the front half of the pitch and his effort on the back half of the pitch were both spectacular. he played a little bit of defense, people. You don't see that all that often. He played some defense, all right? But yeah, this is my number 3, Johan Cruyff. Amazing player and responsible for, how most of those super teams play nowadays, people. Number 2. This is going to make some people really mad, but I have Pele at number 2. I love Pele. Pele was probably my number 1 for a long time. All right, I've been watching football for a long time, and Pele has been my number 1 for most of my life. All right, he, just like Johan Cruyff changed the way that teams play, Pele innovated the way that playmakers play. He is the reason that some of our best playmakers now play the way that they do. There's a video you can find of skills of his that line up with skills that you see like nowadays. So like he was doing skills that our skillful players do now on guys who were working the docks. Like, it was unfair. It's like Wilt Chamberlain in basketball. All right. But he also holds so many records, it's ridiculous. All right, he has 92 hat tricks in his life, in his playing career, 256 goals in those 92 games. He scored more goals in those 92 games than most strikers score in a career. Number 1. Who else? Who else have you not seen on this list but Lionel Messi? All right, Lionel Messi has become my number 1 all-time greatest player as his career has continued. You guys realize he's been the most dominant, one of the most dominant, if not the single most dominant player, most cheat code player for 15 years. 15 years, people. Like, he can pick up the ball. Not very many players can do this. He picks up the ball on the outside of his own box, of his own team's box, carries it all the way over here, and either scores or makes a pass like that. What the heck? People don't just do that. He's outrageous, and he finally won himself a World Cup. All right, he is in his mid to late 30s right now, and at time of recording, he just wheeled Inter Miami past FC Dallas down 2 goals 2 separate times because he can. All right, he's just that guy. He's that guy, all right? It doesn't get better than this. But if you disagree, I'd love to have that conversation with you in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.